So right away, we're going to be hit for 5 damage unless I block. Hello and welcome, Dirty William here, back with another episode of Magic Duels Origins. Just logged in, and this is what I see here. As you can see, everybody's been casting all kinds of spells, and have cast way over enough to get some monies. I didn't know, I guess these are achievements. Whenever you unlock them, you get coins for the store, which is neat. As you can see here, Law and Order casts 15 white or blue spells. I've cast 12 out of 15, and whenever I cast just 3 more, I will get some monies. Destruction and Rage cast 15 black or red spells, and Champion of the Sun Petal Grove win 2 games in which you cast a green or white spell. So that's kind of nice. You can kind of combine these, white, like a white and blue deck, or just a white deck, win 2 games, and you'll get the 60 from that. Plus, you'll be able to get the Law and Order for another 20. So that's kind of neat. Now, last time I went into battle mode and used kind of like a pre-constructed type of deck and did a little battle just so I could open up more story mode stuff. After that, I went into this here. You can either go through Origins or Battle of Zendikar. I'm still working on the Origins stuff because I'm slow and I'm trying to get some value out of the free game, basically. But what I did is I played Jace. I did the story mode of Jace. I played 2 games with this crap deck that they give you and was beaten twice in a row. And I decided not to even air that stuff. But there were no counter spells. The deck was just it's not very good. So I'm not sure if I should go ahead and try that again or if I should continue on to something else. I thought about it for a while, and I think I'm going to go with Jace and record this so that people can see what they're up against, because it's not really a tutorial on how to beat something, but a tutorial on how to get beaten, I guess. So, let's start the duel. You often seek the solitude afforded by the apex of the Mage Ring. It's the only place where the thoughts of others can't reach you and bombard your mind. Usually it's quiet here, but not today. So obviously I'm a psychic. Jace is a psychic, and all the background noise, I guess, is just too much. So he comes up here to get away from things. But here's some bad guys pointing fingers, and the redhead down here with her fist going to punch him in the throat, and this guy here with his arms crossed, and I guess he's the leader, I'm assuming. The Mage Ring Bullies. My turn. Okay, you can keep this hand or draw a new hand of 7 cards. So let's see what we have. We have 3 islands. That is good. We have Azure Mage. This is a little card drawing thing, and it's a 2/1, which is not too bad for a blue deck. Low toughness, but has a high power. Phantasmal Dragon, 4 cost, 5/5 flyer. When it becomes the target of a spell or ability, sacrifice it. Nimbus of the Isles. That is a 3/3 flyer for 5, which is horrible cost. Then Psychic Spiral, 5 cost, shuffle all cards from your graveyard into your library. Target player puts that many cards from the top of his or her library into his graveyard. So it's a little bit of a mill mechanic. But I tried it, and it doesn't really work very well. So I'm going to go ahead and keep this hand, because the other things that you will see that I'll get are not that great. Now, as you can see, I get the Azure Mage, and that's pretty much going to be it. But this is the way the hands usually are in this deck. It's a lot of high casting cost things, but you don't have any lower cost counter spells to stop threats. So I'm going to keep the hand and go for it. So we're going to play an island and pass the turn. Opponent draws a card and plays a mountain. And this deck, their deck, as you can see, has some really good cards in it. So let's see, we're going to play the Azure Mage, since it's the only thing we can play at this point, which is a bit irritating. Otherwise, if I had counter spells, I would sit on this and let them cast a spell this turn and counter it. Yep, so here's this guy, Ashmouth Hound. A 2/1 for 2. Whenever it blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, it deals 1 damage to that creature. So if you have a 2/3, for example, it's going to die, because whenever it's blocked, it will deal 1 damage to that creature. taking it down to 2 toughness, and then finish it off with its 2 power. So it's not a bad card. First game I played with this deck, yeah, here's more and more high casting cost things. We'll play another land. I don't want to attack, obviously, because I'll attack into that. It will ping this off before I even get a chance to do any damage, and it will die. So we're going to skip the attack. A lot of this stuff is just high casting cost. Let's see if he plays the third turn. It's a 3 cost. Yep, there it is. A 3/1 with haste. Attacks each turn if able. So right away, we're going to be hit for 5 damage unless I block. Now, here's the thing. He's attacking with both. So what do we do in this situation? Well, my life total is going to go down quick if I just let this damage through. I don't have any way to deal a lot of damage until I get at least 1 more land into play next turn and can play this Phantasmal Dragon and be able to fly over, right? So I've got to soak up some damage as best I can. So I'm going to block this 3/1. Because if I block this Ashmouth Hound, my Azure Mage is going to take 1 damage and die, and it's not going to even be a trade. It's just this guy will be blocked and do no damage. So I'm going to block this Reckless Brute, confirm the block. I'll still be taking 2 from the Ashmouth Hound. These 2 will trade. So he still has a critter on that side. I, however, do not. Until now. Play an island, and now we're going to go ahead and play our Phantasmal Dragon. Now, I did not see any direct damage spells from this red deck before, but we've got to do something. So I'm playing this creature. It's a 5/5 flyer for 4, which is great, but if it becomes the target of a spell or ability, I have to sacrifice it, which means it just instantly dies. So it could be pinged by a something that does 1 damage. We're going to play that while I drink some coffee. Now let's see if they have anything in their hand that is going to be able to get rid of my 5/5 flyer. Okay, enchant creature you control. Enchanted creature gets +2/+0. Sacrifice, it deals 2 damage to target creature or player. Well, the smart player would go ahead and enchant that, pay the cost, sacrifice it, and then ping off my dragon. And then they're going to attack for 2. Now we do have another Phantasmal Dragon that we can play next turn, unless there is something better that we draw. But it seemed like I was drawing a lot of islands in the first couple of games. Divination is a good card. Let's see, let's go ahead and play that. Now, Divination, draw 2 cards, it costs 3. At this point, I want to try and speed things up. I'm going to go ahead and drop this. Get another dragon in play. And he might have another one of those cards, but I can't really play around that at this point because I have to try and go on the offensive because his deck is a fast deck. Well, here we go again. So he's got 2 of those things. This is just a bad matchup for this deck. This deck has no counter spells. If I would be able to counter that, it would be able to I'd be able to save my dragon because he would not get that aura in play. So now I'm going to get hit for 2 again. Have no blockers. Take 2 to the face. Continue. Thank you. Alright, what do we draw? Another Azure Mage. So we could Divination to draw 2 cards and play an Azure Mage, which would just be a chump blocker, even though it would die and his creature would still be alive. We could also play Nimbus of the Isles, which is a 3/3 flyer, which is a flyer, I guess. So I'm not sure what to do here. I think I'm going to do this. We'll do that. Now I can't use this to block because if I block his 2/1 here, it's going to take 1 damage from the effect that the Ashmouth Hound has, and then it's going to get hit for the rest of the damage. So I'm not going to block here. I'm going to skip blocking. So I'm going to take 2 from his Ashmouth Hound. Oh, here we go. This is where some kind of counter magic would be great because he's going to be able to pump that up to unbelievable heights. Look, he's got 6 mountains back there, right? Next turn, he can tap all those, maybe even another one, and give it a +7. Another Ashmouth Hound. Super. Yeah, this is just a horrible, horrible matchup for this deck. Alright, my turn. Draw an island. Now, the question is, what do we do? Psychic Spiral. Shuffle my cards from my graveyard into my library, and then he mills for however many cards, which would be 3 in this case, which is not that great of a value. Play the Azure Mage, which is going to get killed off. We'll be able to suck up some damage, or we can play Divination and draw a couple cards. I think the best thing to do right now is to draw some cards. So we're going to go ahead and play that. It's a sorcery, so we have to play it in one of our main phases. Okay, so we got another Azure Mage and an island. So what do we do in this case? If we attack, we can attack and fly over for 3. This guy here is going to block it, more than likely. So it will die, my guy will still be alive. The smart player, though, and I think the AI is pretty smart in this game, would say, forget about it. I'm not going to mess with blocking. I'll take your 3, and then I'm going to swing over for a billion. So we're going to have to leave this back as a blocker. So that's what we're going to do in this case. Now the Azure Mage, at this point, we're just going to go ahead and play that, and that's going to be a blocker. It's not going to get rid of one of his guys, but it's going to save us 2 life. We're going to skip the attack because we're not attacking with that guy yet. Our board presence is just crappy. Okay, they're going to attack. I'm going to block here. And he can pump it up if he wants to, just a couple mana, and kill that guy off. Yeah, and that's what he does. So I'm going to take 2 and another 2. But this big threat here is going to be negated, thankfully. Okay, he didn't play anything that turn. That is good. Play another land. Let us play another Azure Mage. We'll use that for a blocker as well. Now, it's at this point where I could attack with this one and do 2 damage, but I'm not sure if that's the best course of action right now. I think what I'm going to do is use its ability. So we'll right-click and go down to Draw a Card. Pay 4 for that. Ooh, Phantom Warrior. That's one that I had not seen for a little bit. We're going to skip the attack. Now, the decision we have to make here is, do we go ahead and block these? If we block, both of them are going to die. I don't take damage, but he still has his 2 1s. Because, again, if you read the card, whenever Ashmouth Hound blocks or becomes blocked by a creature, Ashmouth Hound deals 1 damage to that creature. So if we block, we can't even double block, because it would just straight up, it would kill both our guys. He would still have his. And I can't individually block, because, again, these guys will die. So at this point, it's a game of we each have 2 1s, but his are better in the standpoint that he is able to keep his alive. I am going to go ahead and block and sacrifice these guys because I'm on 8 health. And this sucks because my guys are going to get pinged off the board. Now, because they were blocked, I take no damage. He's got a lot of land. Oh, Lord. Another one of these guys. Continue. So he's sitting on 8 land right now. If he gets another land next turn, he could pump that up to lethal. And I have no way to stop it. So he's got 8, 9, 10. Yeah, I'm dead next turn. And this is the way these games have gone. It's just, it's insanely brutal. Well, I could shuffle these. Choose a player to put cards from the top of his or library into his graveyard. How about you? And for shits and giggles, let's go ahead and play that. This is going to do nothing for us because he is going to be able to pump this guy up to lethal and kill me. He has 8 lands. He's going to attack with everything. Sure, we'll block just because. It's not going to matter. Obviously, I can't block that because it has flying. He taps everything. It now is a 10-2. I'm going to be taking 12 damage total. 2 from the Ashmouth Hound, 10 from the Furnace Whelp, and I'm dead. This is how every game has gone. This is the 3rd game in a row that this has gone this way. So, progressing through the Jace storyline, I'm not sure if that's a thing that's even going to happen. I'm going to keep trying, I guess, but this is a pain. Hey, I got 20 money dollars, though. Nice. Continue. What was that? That was a vampire just flashed up on the screen. So now I have 270 monies. I still want to progress through this though, but this deck is just crap. It really is awful. So and this is it's a pre-made deck. This is it gives you the deck. You can't change it. So I'm not sure if I should go on to something, one of the other colors to expedite things, or just try to grind this out. But I don't see of any way with the amount of creatures going off against that red deck first right off the bat is such a pain. I'm not sure if there is a way I can get a good enough hand and put enough pressure on to be able to get through. As you can see, he has answers for everything that I have. I have no counter magic. I cannot counter any of his big threats. I can't even counter the aura that will ping a creature off the board in the case of my dragon. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I think what I'll probably do is try Liliana next and kind of forgo Jace if I can. Yeah, it looks like I can go ahead and play her. I guess I'll try that in the next episode because Jace's deck sucks. So sorry about that, but that's just the way it is. Eventually I'll have to because I want to get through that story mode, but it's gonna be a thing. Anyway, that is it for this episode. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like. Until next time, this is Dirty William reminding you to do the dirty work.